Hey everybody, I hope you are doing well. I'm Afefe with Touch by Tarot, and I am here to do a pick a card for the full moon in Virgo we have doing today. Sorry I didn't get it uploaded for you a couple of days in advance, but here we are on the day of the new moon. We know those new moon energies are already in play, just as if you look up at the sky, you'll see the moon looking full a couple of days, a few days before the actual new moon, and also as it starts to wane a few days afterwards. So we're right here in the thick of the energy. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm an intuitive tarot and oracle reader, and I always check in. Sometimes my time is a little late today, but I always for the new moon and the full moon, and I also, I'll check in and do some other themed sort of readings in between time. So I also do a little bit of political stuff. If you're interested in that, you can check out I have a separate playlist for politics. I'm a former journalist as well as a spiritualist, so kind of mix it up a little, as we all do. They're not separate and apart. We can be deeply spiritual people and also political and active and all of the many things that we do as human beings on this planet and the many interests that we have. So you'll see a little bit of that reflected on my channel. Again, I'm glad you're here. If you are one of my regular subscribers, you already know I'm very, very grateful for your presence. That said, let's get into it. I've got 3 piles in front of me, and as you know, my usual practice, I have not seen these cards. I pull them and separate the piles before I start taping, just to save you about 10-15 minutes of watching me get the cards down on the table. So let's go. This is, again, a full moon in Virgo. While the sun is in Pisces, I believe Mercury's in Pisces. I didn't put my notes in front of me, but there's if I'm not mistaken, my astrologers will let me know, there's 5 planets in Pisces right now. Pisces is very active. Pisces ruled by Neptune. It has deeply spiritual, very, very, very psychic. So when we talk about the full moon in general, no matter when it comes, once a month, there is always that sense of our psychic knowing, our psychic abilities being heightened, the potential being heightened, our spirit guides, right there, right there, really close, trying to talk to us and get messages to us. So just be aware of that, because when it comes in that Virgo, with the Virgo energy, beautiful energy around, very practical, very grounded earth ruled by Mercury. So it's about, one person wrote down, one astrologer said, and I wanted to, this sort of spirit led me to build the reading around this. It said, gain ground by letting go. We know that with new moons, we very often set intentions about things that we want to happen. We journal, we do other things, but the new moon is about new. It's about what we want to bring in. The full moon is very often an energy where we are being led to release. It's happened, we've gotten as far as we can get, or it's just time to create room for something new. And so what do we need to release? And that in a very practical way when we're talking about Virgo, because Virgo is that, excuse me, it is the sign very often related to health, and health in all of its respects, the body, the mind, and the spirit, our spiritual health. So thinking about that in relation to this full moon, how much are you paying attention to your health, your physical, mental, psychic health, and where are you creating the space for things? Virgo is that sign of repetition. It is that sign of day in and day out routines. It's understanding that once you undertake something, you're going to commit to it. You are able to see it through and take all the steps every day, do what needs to be done. It reminds me, Spirit just gave me that old saying, that old African proverb. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. We ain't trying to eat elephants. I love elephants, but you get the idea, which is, when you're faced with something really big, a major decision, life change, recovery from a health issue that's taking some time, whatever that is, but you'll get there one bite at a time, one step at a time. Virgo, no other sign excels at that the way that Virgo does, in terms of just staying the course, staying focused, and doing what needs to be done. The caution there is, of course, Virgo can be very critical, and very often no more critical against anyone or anything else than itself. So if you are ruled by Virgo, sun, moon, or rising, or you have a lot of Virgo in your chart, you may find yourself you know that you're doing your best. You know that you are who you are, and you give yourself credit for that. But there's always that little voice in the back of your head that sometimes wants to kick in on that criticism. So, not doing that. We're going to gain ground by letting go. That's the theme of this reading. And so I want to do in this pick a pile. I want you to use your intuition. We're going to pick based on what needs to go. Gain ground in a practical way by letting go. Sometimes when we talk about releasing, we feel like it means that we're moving on from something, and there's an attachment there, and then automatically there may be some resistance. But when we think about that, if we put it in the framework of, but then if I let this go, if I move on from this, if I release this need, this habit, this limiting belief, what do I stand to gain? All right, so let's go. I've got 3 piles in front of me. For pile number 1, it will be if you are drawn to this quartz crystal. All right. For pile number 2, it'll be if you're drawn to big old chunk of black tourmaline. That'll be pile number 2. And for pile number 3, it'll be citrine if you're drawn to this beautiful piece of raw citrine. All right. Okay. So having said that, I'm going to take excuse my movement, and I'm going to bring down, see if we can't get you down on the table so you can see the cards. There we go. Yeah, we're going to do it like that. Okay, perfect. So let's move piles 2 and 3 to the side. And let's get ready to go in. For those of you who chose the quartz crystal, pile number 1. What do you need to let go of? How do you gain ground in this full moon? By letting go. You have, right out the deck, you have the Strength card. You have the 8 of Cups, talk about letting go and letting go emotionally, Pisces, ruled by water. You have a Trine, angelic support, harmony, and the perfect flow. So this is a beautiful time for you all. If you pick this pile, number 1, this is an incredible time, Spirit is saying, around having the fortitude and the stamina to recognize what it is that you need to let go. There's a Trine energy here. It's harmony. It's like your spirit guides, events, synchronicities, all of these things coming together because you are ready to let go and move on. You have the King of Wands. Beautiful. And it says, this card has affirmations on it. In faith, I move forward and discover the possibilities. Hold that up for you. All right. I'm going to put that over here. We have the 10 of Swords. Yeah, this is letting go. I'm actually going to put this next to this 8 of Cups because this is what's being let go of. That worry, that limiting belief, and recognizing it, having the strength to recognize it. And we're going to put the King of Wands, put fire with fire. All right. We have reproach. There's some of that Virgo energy coming in where you may be feeling a little, like a little like hard to forgive someone. Feeling like you may be above reproach or you want to be above reproach, but that's also setting yourself up for a standard that sometimes can be a little difficult to meet. It's a new moon in Cancer. I'm getting that energy coming for you as well. And it says there, you and your loved ones are safe. In order for you to forgive and move on, there is that sense of safety. You have a shamanista coming in. This is, and talking about earth energy, illumination, guidance, and transformation. So there's that. It's shaman energy, and shamanistic work has a lot to do with working with the forces of the earth, Virgo, full moon, in order to get that guidance. It's where you literally put yourself into a state of mind, a state of being, so that you can access the higher realm. I'm actually feeling led to put this near that trine because the trine is where the energies, the harmonic energies were coming together. Your spirit guides are here to help you in a very earthy way to move on and release, stand in your power and release this. All right, so let's get that over here. And we have leave the past behind. Woo! Talk about a confirmation. All right. Don't worry about the card, last quarter moon in Capricorn, but more, I use these decks to get the affirmation message. So it is leave the past behind. I'm going to tack that on to that Eight of Cups and that Ten of Wands, because that's what you're leaving behind. It is the limiting beliefs. It is that thing, reproach, whatever's going on there with you thinking about how you maybe have been misunderstood. You've been afraid to fully express your ideas and your longings because you don't want to face the criticism. Remembering again, Virgo is that powerful energy that does sometimes, Virgo the Virgin, it wants perfection. It strives for perfection. Things need to be right. They have that's an energy where, we'll do whatever it takes to get something right. And so if there is that sense of reproach, if there is that sense of, well, you didn't quite get the mark or hit the mark, you can be really, really hard on yourself or others. If others are not stepping up the way you expect, if others have let you down, there is also a sense of reproach. Clairvoyance, inspiration, interpretation, and trust. That's that psychic energy of that Pisces. Your clairvoyance. So many of you who chose this pile, this clear quartz, you may be clairvoyant. If you didn't realize it, you're recognizing it now. And I'm going to put that with that shamanism and your angels, because this is sort of that spiritual energy that's going to help you let go of this. We've got the moon. Why wouldn't we? All right. Confirming that now is the time for you to do it. We'll put that moon right there. Actually, we'll put it up here. And we have trust. This is a sign. I pulled a stone and an herb from my green deck. So you've got some lettuce, and it says desire. This is something for you to think about in terms of earth energy, in terms of shamanistic energy, in terms of your healing and doing what it takes to open yourself up to this clairvoyance that's here speaking for you. Think about that with something as simple as lettuce, representing desire, representing prosperity, representing growth, representing abundance, representing that Virgo ability to stick to it, to be healthy, right? To be healthy, to take care of yourself, to take care of your health. And we have Unakite, trust. The best way to find out if you can trust somebody is to trust them. That's so cool. Unakite will be, for those of you who are into crystals, Unakite for you, pile number 1, will be a great stone for you to work with and use during this time of the full moon. Okay? Wow. This is really, your ability to let go is actually, it feels like it's already in motion for you all if you chose this pile. So there's not even, sometimes we get into that and we got to take the time to identify what it is that needs to be let go of. But the fact that you all came out of the gate with this strength card, this feels like you already have gone through a period of testing and a period of having to identify for yourselves. Strength is ruled by Leo, and Leo shows up in the world. Leo is meant to shine. Leo is meant to be creative and playful. And yes, see me needs to be seen, but if you see me, I'm going to make it worth your while to have a great time together. For many of you, the main thing is, what I'm feeling is you gain ground by letting go of any fear that you may have around what was done to you in the past by people who let you down or people who judged you harshly. Like, really cancel that out, because what's happening is you've got this whole spiritual cadre here. Your guides, your ancestors, your past lives, your higher self. This whole cadre is over here coming with the energy of this full moon in Virgo to exercise your clairvoyance so that you will feel inspired, so that you will be able to interpret. And notice too, on this card, one of the key words there is trust, right? Trust is a big thing for you all, pile number 1. And it is about, remember, you got your Unakite, which was about trust as well. This is learning to trust Trust your instincts. Trust your insights with that clairvoyance. Trust yourself to know that the situations in the past where you may have trusted people who then turned around and bit you in the butt, or who did not come through for you in the way that ultimately made you judge yourself, even because remember, Virgo energy can be very hypercritical. I should have seen, I should have saw that coming. I should have taken better steps. I should have known better. I should have done this a different way. There's all of that, but leave the past behind, pile number one. You've got, in faith, I move forward and discover possibilities. In faith, King of Wands energy. It is that I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to tackle everything. Remembering too that when we come out of Pisces, we will go into the astrological New Year starts, and we will go into Aries, King of Wands, fire. So this is setting you up to be, as you release, you gain ground to set yourself up for new possibilities by trusting, reestablishing the trust in yourself that you've earned based on the experiences that now you are ready to let go and leave behind. Spirit, is there any other message? Yeah, I'm feeling like you want one. They're telling me to go to this oracle for you. Any other message for pile number one? Ooh, okay, 2 fell out. We'll take it. And you have, I am safe and grounded, and my passion and visions are as expansive as the sun. Wow, this so relates to that King of Wands energy. And I feel safe and grounded. It's safe to trust yourself. Again, it's safe to trust your vision. It's safe to trust your desires. It's safe to trust your methods, the way that you go about things, exercising that clairvoyance and being able to interpret what you need through, I'm being led back to the shamanista, because for you, Spirit is saying, look, do what you got to do to really get in touch with your angelic guides, with your spirit guides, with your ancestors, with your higher self, however you most closely identify. But access the other side, because they're right there in that trine. Angelic support, harmony, right? And perfect flow. They're there for you to help you exercise this clairvoyance so that you make the right interpretations around who and what you can trust. And letting go of this part in the past. You and your loved ones are safe. Where do we get it? I feel grounded. I feel safe and grounded. Confirmation of messages for you. Some of you have held yourself back a little bit, and that's what's being released. You've held back because of the fear of, if I expose myself, if I really express my truth, if I take a chance on loving again, or starting this business, or taking a new job, or retiring, or investing in some travel, there's that doubt because you've been told, and there's some conditioning there that you shouldn't. There's that limiting belief. And Spirit is coming through saying passion and vision. Passion is very, very important for you, pile number one, and you are tapping back into it. It is like so, all you got to do is reach your hand out for it. It is right there. And Spirit is saying, keep in mind your desires, as you eat, as you drink, as you walk, as you breathe, know and affirm your desires. And have no worries around, am I going to do the right thing? Is this going to come out the right way? Like, you have the wherewithal to be able to exercise the wisdom that you need in order to go forward. Okay? All right, pile number one. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful reading for you. All right, let's put this up. And let's get ready to go to pile number two. It's a little warm in here. I'm going to turn on the fan. You all coming with the energy this month. This full moon. All right. So let's go. Pile number two. Those of you who were drawn to, let me make some room here. Those of you who were drawn to the Black Tourmaline, pile number two. Let's see what Spirit says. You have Ooh, the Well, which is a card special to this deck. It's actually labeled number 22 in the major arcana, and it is about the well, the whole universe. Like for you, you gain ground by letting go, because the ground you stand to gain is very much around a shift in your consciousness around what's available to you. The well, meaning what's available for you to dip into, the resources that you have, the knowledge of, and total conviction and belief of how the universe supports you. Now, it comes with the Five of Wands. All right, we're going to get into what that conflict is all about. And we have the second house, which is the house of money, values, physical. It says physical security, possessions, material values, and self-worth. Maybe you're going through a transformation around that. You're coming out of it and having to dig deep into your own well to resolve a conflict that you've had. I pause, I breathe, I enter a sanctuary of peace. This is in this deck, it's an affirmational tarot deck, but it actually comes, you see that number 12 on the bottom, that would represent the hangman in the traditional tarot. All right? But I love this message. I pause, I breathe, and I enter a sanctuary of peace. Because you need that in order to deal with this conflict that you've had or encountered around you. And it's almost like you've got it, what you are to get, you gain ground by letting go of even participating in the different opinions of others, the trying to satisfy everybody, and just taking a pause. They call this sacrifice, which sometimes in tarot, the hangman is referred to as sacrifice, but it is sacrifice in the sense of slowing down the ego, sacrificing your need to do something, to be active, to take charge. It is allowing yourself the time needed to resolve something. And for you all, pile number 2, black tourmaline, also thinking, if you were drawn to this, black tourmaline is that stone, that crystal that absolutely is powerful in terms of rejecting negativity from within or without. So it's what, that conflict, it rejects that conflict from without, but also to the extent that within you've been feeling, those issues of self-worth that are coming up around your money, your materials, your material well-being, what you value. You're coming into, so you're at a point where you're realizing, in order for you to gain ground, you have to let go of any fears around having enough. I find blessings in every circumstance. The 8 of Cups. I find blessings in every circumstance. That's a change of mind. That really is. That's a change of mind. That's that second house. Some of you have lost some things, or you've struggled. You've struggled financially. Maybe you've lost people, situations, things that had value to you, or you've had to walk away from them. Some of you may have gone into retirement, or you're thinking about retiring, changing jobs, but it's where you've had, talk about releasing in a full moon. You've had to do that. You understand exactly what that's all about. But there's this freedom here that you all get, which is really unique to me. Spirit is saying, make sure I emphasize this. On the one hand, you got a non-traditional card in this particular deck that offers a number 22 in the major arcana, which is the Well. And you got also this free message. It's almost like Spirit is saying, you know the answers. You decide how it, through this sacrifice, through this hanging out, this hangman kind of energy, you decide what the message needs to be. You don't even need to be told, because you have the power to decide for you. In other words, Spirit is almost, your guides are saying, like, you tell us what you want. You tell us what you want, and we will help you. And so there's part of this, I get it too. Part of this, Spirit is saying, you've had to grow up a little bit in relation to what you have felt always was valuable, what you saw as your achievements, what you felt like you could count on, who and what you felt like made you safe. You've had to do some reevaluating, and now it's like you coming into your own power. I took a sip of water. You're coming into your own power. This is a free message, and going into the well of life. It's time to take action because you've moved on. Now, what's interesting is the contrast here. On the one hand, I pause to breathe, and on the other hand, it's time to take action. I think you can do both at the same time, which is there's all sorts of action that you can take, but I don't think you have to take it right this moment. I think that on the heels of pausing to then realize your own strength, your own power, your own ability to determine your future and co-create with your spirit guides, then you will be the type, you are the type of person, pile number 2, you'll jump right on it. Once it clicks for you, once you get that idea, you'll jump right on it. You have the wind spirit, and it says circulation, clearing, and impetus. Time to take action, impetus, wind spirit. Yes, you are headed into this, you gain ground by letting go of any doubt in your own voice, in your own ideas, in your own, if you have been looking to others, whether that's, people you admire or respect, but ultimately by looking to them for answers, it's been giving you more conflict, then that's what this is about. It's saying, look, this wind spirit is coming to say, look, listen to your own ideas, your own thoughts. That's what this free message is. Comes very well. What you say to yourself right now, Virgo ruled by Mercury. What you say to yourself, how you express yourself, how you choose your words to be affirmative, to be powerful, to be empowering. That's what's key for you right now. And there's that hangman energy is saying, I pause and I breathe, because there's a part of you that's coming to terms with, I'm going to clear this up. I'm going to let this go. And it's just a matter of deciding, here's how I'm going to go about it. It's hatching a plan. And then once you hatch that plan, you take action. Reveal what needs to be seen. There it is. There's a message that you, pile number 2, if you chose this pile, there's a message that you have that is very distinct. There is work, there is a project, there is something that you are doing or thought or thinking about doing, that if you have sought outside opinion, or it feels like you have not gotten the cooperation among others to make you feel inspired to move forward. Aries is the sign of the self. I mean, in this card, it says new moon in Aries, but more I want you to focus on that message. It's time to take action. Aries is ruled by the head. It is that sign of the self. It does not, sometimes it can be very rash, where it doesn't stop to ask, well, what do you think? Well, what do you have to say? Well, I'd love your opinion on this. I'd love your input on this. And you reveal what needs to be seen. You decide what needs to be seen, and what you reveal has everything to do with you going to this well. I am being led. What did I do with it? Spirit is telling me go to the book, actually, because this is not a typical card. Let's look at this well for a moment. Let's see if I can find it. All right, let's see here. The well. 19. All right. Hold on for me. All right, here we go. Let's see. It relates to Mother Gaia, who is, of course, we're talking about a full moon in Virgo, Earth. So it says the well is the birthplace of ideas, inspiration, and transformation. Inspiration and transformation. All things are birthed from this creatrix, whose knowledge flows freely to those who seek it. So it is about opportunity and creativity. It is about going to that well and deciding, free message. Spirit is saying, come talk to me. Bottom line, come talk to me. Say it in your prayers, write it down in your journal, take a picture of it. I'm seeing for some of you, you may be attracted to photography or visual images. There's something that's pinging me on that. But Spirit is saying, show me what you want. And I think that's also a really positive way for you to take action, It is about creating the vision of what it is that you want. If it is the relationship, if it's the career, if it's more financial stability because you did get that second house coming up, then create that. Take pictures of things that represent abundance to you, that represent love to you, that represent success to you. When you connect with something visually, your brain and your psychic knowing, your psychic, your spirit self, the wind spirits pick up on it and begin to say, oh, okay, we got you, we understand. You have here sacred action. Talk about a confirmation. Time to take action, and now you got sacred action. And it says there, decisive focus. You know what? That's the action. It's not, because remember you had that hangman. It's not that you literally have to get up and go do something, but the action that you are taking right now, pile number 2, is to nail down your focus for what your next step is. Gain ground by letting go. So you're going to let go of the ideas that the way you have typically experienced security in the past, if there's been challenges to that, because maybe you relied on others, you put yourself in a situation where that was not so good for you, then now you take action by honing in on your focus. There is a tempest around you. And I think as well, because you got that wind spirit, that tempest around you is that conflict. It is this conflict. It's changeable circumstances. And if it relates to your money, so if on a practical level, talking about Virgo, if on a practical level, your money has been up and down, there's been a tempest, maybe you have encountered some challenges in your living arrangements, in your relationship, whatever it is that you value that keeps you feeling safe, now is the time to take action to refocus. Your free message here is to refocus and reveal what needs to be seen. Tell your truth. Stand in your truth. Speak freely. Speak freely. And own it. And then you have the Regent Diamond. And it says arrogance, the cleverness of me. I don't know about arrogance there. I think what it really means is reveal what needs to be seen. There's something about you needing to show up. Being a diamond in the rough is almost what I'm feeling. The being able to see all facets of a situation so that you can grow beyond whatever this tempest is, whatever this conflict is, so that you can move beyond it, put it to rest. And you do that by having this. There's something here where you, pile number 2, you got to put you first. There is really that. And not in a selfish way, not in an egotistical way, but in a way that says, once I decide how this is going to go down, or the best way I feel it needs to go down, here's what I can see that needs to be done in order to achieve this financial security, relationship security, home, feeling good in my home, my living situation. It's examining all facets of that, being able to walk away, gain ground by letting go. So that's that 8 of Cups, is you're letting go of that need to maybe even seek that other person's opinion or group's opinion. If this is in a workplace, it would be the need to feel accepted, understood, acknowledged, getting the recognition that you deserve, even if it's not a typical workplace. Say you are in business for yourself, you're an entrepreneur. It is also the same applies. It's, don't worry about constantly getting the affirmation from others, because it's more about staying focused on your vision. That's the message that Spirit is giving you. That's what gives you that clearing and helps you be the impetus to get you moving forward. Your opinion counts more than others, and Spirit is saying sometimes when we get too focused on trying to fit in, trying to collaborate, trying to work with others, trying to make sure that we get the buy-in by other people, it can impede our own vision, our own ability to see the different facets of ourselves and to show up in that way and to reveal what needs to be seen. All right. Your herb is strawberry, and it is about agreement. What a beautiful way to close down your reading, right? Because the strawberry and about agreement, there is, there is that this tempest and this conflict around others and around whatever situation in life. And again, all of this ties back to what makes you feel safe. So I do feel like this is related to your home, your business, your friendship groups, your family. It is those things that make you feel safe. It's those second house issues, very much around your possessions, around what you have accomplished, around what you know you can count on and hold on to. And it is around your self-worth. There's an agreement that you're making, but the agreement that you make is really with your higher self. You've been perhaps trying to make this agreement with the outside world, and Spirit is like, we get it, we understand, but now it's you. You develop the focus. You do a little self-care, self first in that Aries way, and sacred action through your focus. All right, pile number 2. I hope that was helpful. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to get your feedback on that. And I wish you the absolute best. All right. And so finally, we're going to move on now to pile number 3. Those of you who were drawn to this nice, beautiful, chunky piece of citrine. Gain ground by letting go with this full moon in Virgo. 2 of Wands out the deck. So you are, this full moon is very much, you gain ground by developing your vision and your focus forward. 2 of Wands is notorious in the best way for that. You have the 9 of Pentacles. So this is you literally gaining ground, building. 9 of Pentacles is a card very often that promises the bounty, promises the wealth, promises the success, the growth of friendships, of good health, even if it's not related to money. Very often when we see those pentacles, we're dealing with the body. We're dealing with the tangible things. Scorpio shows up for you. Intensity, exposing, purging, and renewing. That's interesting. Because this time you gain ground by letting go, because by exposing what is not necessary. And remember, Scorpio does the truth like nobody's business. Scorpionic energy is notorious for its ability to drill down no matter how deep. Scorpio will go to the absolute depths, bottom of the ocean floor, if that's what it takes to get to the truth. And so this 2 of Wands feels like you moving forward and focusing on some aspect of the truth. You've got to get to that in order for you to move forward and get these gains that are being offered to you. We've got the 4 of Wands. We've got the Emperor. I love this deck. It is an affirmation deck. It does follow the traditional tarot in its numbering, but it gives affirmational messages, etc. And so instead of the Emperor per se, it calls it will. What is your will? Let's put that with that 2 of Wands, because those are both fiery energies. So the Emperor, what is your vision going forward? Both of these are very much focused forward, vision forward energies. And I connect with the divine masculine within me. There is a feeling that you have to hatch a plan, to know what you know and not be distracted or allow any sort of somebody selling you something that you know better within yourself. It is absolutely, when we talk about purging, letting go in a full moon, but you purge so that you can be renewed. And what's being renewed, it feels like, is I envision new possibilities, the star. What's being renewed is your hope in a future that you want to build. It is an idea that you have for the future, an idea that you have for how to shift your career, how to change your relationship. Some of you may be ready to date again or juice up an existing relationship, because part of what you are examining is there was a loss. I get it. I totally get it. Some of you have lost actual people. I'm feeling that, so I want to go ahead and say that. Some of you have you've had the death of a loved one or loved ones, and it could even be a pet or pets. But there's this, because we know Scorpio in traditional tarot, Scorpio is also ruled by death. So there it feels for me, I got to acknowledge that. Spirit is saying acknowledge that. Some of you have gone through a loss, and so part of this visioning, envisioning the future and focused forward and envisioning new possibilities is because you're going through that process of grief. That is, you gain ground by letting go, meaning you're working your way through that grief so that you gain ground. You move on through the possibilities, which is what the star is giving you. All right. Now we have believe in the impossible. I mean, talk about a theme coming up here for you all, pile number 3. Believe in the impossible. Blue moon, like once in a blue moon, right? You are on the verge of something. If you chose this citrine, you're on the verge of something really good. The only key to it, putting the key in the door, is your own resolve. Really, it is your own resolve. It is tapping into that divine masculine, meaning I can do this. Gender aside, it is I have a vision for how I can see myself moving forward. I will find love again. I will still be productive even if I'm not working in this particular job or career any longer. My body is capable of healing itself even if it's gone through some sort of transformational process. All right? You have the owl spirit. Observation, truth, and discernment. Your wisdom. You have really been in the process of adapting and incorporating your wisdom. And the owl spirit comes with that truth. Remember, we went into Scorpio talking about one thing Scorpio will not budge on is when it comes to matters of truth. It will go as far as it needs to go to have that truth. And here you have the owl spirit confirming that with the discernment and the observation. Scorpio is masterful at observation as well. Like, you don't even know that it's happening. Here, and lo and behold, you all got the full moon in Virgo. Take inspired action. Look, let me just hold that up there for you. You actually got the full moon in Virgo. Gain ground by letting go. And it says take inspired action. Take inspired action. Let me move this over, because these 3 definitely, that's an energy building. That's a portal right there. The Emperor's energy, the divine masculine, moving forward with your will to develop your focus, 2 of wands, and this full moon in Virgo, taking inspired action. Innovation, new creation. Whoa. What does the Emperor do? New creation, a new way forward, building that with your willpower from the Emperor, being a leader, being comfortable with being the leader of your life, and innovation. Remember too, we're in that transit Pluto in Aquarius that we've talked about so much, which has a lot to do with innovation. It has a lot to do with doing things a different way. What has been lost, you've gained wisdom from it. Okay, don't doubt that. You've gained a lot of wisdom and discernment from what has been lost. And now it's time, new creation. It's time, take inspired action. You see how beautifully those themes fit together? And you take this inspired action because you take the time to build a vision forward. And then the Emperor executes that vision. The Emperor has an enormous reservoir of energy and ability to take authority over the vision of what needs to happen. But key here is that word inspired. Not just take action, but inspired action says, your spirit guides are saying, we will give you the vision. We will help you see beyond. Believe in the impossible once in a blue moon. Believe in something more. You got the star, which is also that energy of hope. And it is an energy ruled by Uranus. Innovation. Pluto in Aquarius. Aquarius ruled by Uranus, right? You see how all that fits together. So there you are, truly on the cusp of something new, and the new comes in a way that is tangible for you. It is a new sense of well-being in your body, a new method or avenue of money, income, a new relationship that feels like it has the potential to grow and be solid and be inspired, be inspirational, and it all leads you to a new way of life. You gain ground by letting go of this, once you've gotten to the truth of what this loss cost you and how life has changed, then you can be inspired to go forward. Took a sip of water. You have a path. Absolutely. I mean, talk about confirmation, one after the other. This is your pathway forward. This is your pathway forward. Two of Wands. It is you deciding how you want to move forward. This full moon in Virgo is truly allowing you an opportunity to say, I am ready to move forward. I believe in the impossible. I believe in my vision, and I can envision new possibilities, right? New possibilities. Going from believing in the impossible to new possibilities. Talk about thematically spirit being really, really clear on this message for you all. That whatever it is that you're thinking about right now, pile number 3, like for real, build your vision. Start to think about how would I feel if I woke up and this was now my reality, whatever this is, this new relationship, this new job, having enough money to be able to take vacations, feel secure in my home, feel better in my body, have better relationships with my family, whatever it is that is in motion for you right now, that's what this energy is talking about. And I just looked down and saw you have agate. And what does it say? It says a fresh start. As long as I am breathing in my eyes, I am just beginning. Come on, pile number 3. I mean, you see this? You see how beautifully Spirit's like connecting dot, connecting the dots for you. So agate. Agate is a really good stone for you all to work with during this full moon in Virgo. Because it's a fresh start. And it's a fresh start because you've learned, you've observed what the loss was about. You've done the digging. This is letting go. Scorpio is letting go, purging so that you can renew. It lets go so that something can be rebirthed with a fresh start, new creation, innovation, your path forward, 2 of Wands, a path forward through focus. And it leads to this 9 of Pentacles. Stability, growth, feeling good. You have energy in the orange as another earth element that will help you. Energy through the orange. Notice too, orange it feels fiery to me, energy. It feels like that it is the sun, it is that sunshine energy. For many of you, if you chose this pile, it is very important for you right now. Fresh start. Eat well, eat foods that are going to boost your energy, that are going to give you a fresh perspective, that are going to give you believing in the impossible, give you a bright outlook, like you literally want to have a bright outlook on life. It is, again, taking inspired action. You are the only deck that got that full moon in Virgo. You actually got the energy of this full moon that came in your reading. Get you some agate. Agate is grounding, but it also has a little fiery energy in it. It's going to help you establish this innovation, new creation. And innovation meaning too, when we say that, sometimes it sounds like we're talking about scientists and building rockets and all of that. No, innovation can also be doing something, the simplest task, but doing it in a new way. Innovation in the way, dating in a different way, or if you have an existing relationship or partnership, doing something a little different to juice it up. It's all about going toward the future and believing in something that has felt restrictive, or you weren't quite sure if it was going to lead to this wealth, this good health, this wealth, this stability, this abundance that's coming toward you. Absolutely. But it's up to you. The only thing, it's up to you. If you're going to walk that path and open up that path, it's up to you to see that vision. You got to create that vision for yourself and then take inspired action to do it. And you do that by connecting with your divine masculine, the will to be able, the will to be willing to do something a different way, to have a new creation, to go forward, to build the website, to start writing the book, to take the workshops, to change the diet, etc., etc., etc. But that's how you gain ground, by letting go, pile number 3. All right. All right. I wish you the absolute best. Take good care of yourself. Let me know what you thought. I'd love to get your feedback, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.